Okay, so today we're going to embark on a very special journey, a gentle descent into the profound depths where ancient wisdom meets the very essence of your being. Imagine, if you will, that you're sitting in a dimly lit, ancient temple, perhaps somewhere nestled high in the Himalayas, the air thick with the scent of incense and the quiet hum of centuries of contemplation. You can almost feel the tangible presence of sages who understood a truth that often eludes us in our frenetic modern world: the immense, transformative power of attention training. We live in a world that screams for our focus, fragmenting it across endless notifications and demands, making sustained attention feel like a mythical beast. It's as if our brains have become a dozen open browser tabs, each screaming for a click, and true concentration is now an Olympic sport. So take a deep cleansing breath, let the insistent demands of your day begin to recede, and prepare to discover how the ancient, profound tradition of Brahmanism, seen through the practical lens of Stoicism, offers a powerful roadmap for mastering your focus. The concept of focused attention in Brahmanism isn't merely about concentrating on a task. It's a profound spiritual discipline, a dynamic pathway to realizing the ultimate reality of Brahman, the universal consciousness. Long before the cognitive science labs of today, the Vedic seers understood that true insight, the deepest truths of the cosmos, could only be accessed through an undistracted mind. The Upanishads are replete with instances where profound truths are illuminated not through complex arguments but through intensely focused contemplation on a single, often paradoxical, idea. Archaeologists recently unearthed a fascinating series of ancient clay tablets detailing remarkably strict meditation techniques that involved sustained focus on a single object or thought for hours, believing that such intense concentration was the key to unlocking hidden knowledge. One particularly intriguing inscription describes a revered sage who could hold his attention on a single breath for so long that his disciples believed he transcended time itself. Historians still debate whether this was a true feat of concentration or simply a very effective way to avoid interruptions. This profound reverence for unwavering attention wasn't arbitrary. It was seen as the most direct, unmediated path to profound spiritual insight. For the Stoics, the mastery of attention was equally vital, albeit for a more practical ethical purpose, distinguishing between what is within your control, your judgments and reactions, and what is not, external events. They believed that a distracted mind, easily swayed by external stimuli or internal desires, was incapable of rational thought and virtuous action. Through rigorous daily exercises, they sought to sharpen their faculty of attention, directing it solely towards what mattered and dismissing all irrelevant impressions. You might feel a subtle gathering of your mental energies, a quiet confidence that you possess the inherent power to choose where your focus truly lies, rather than being a passive recipient of distraction. It's like discovering you have a powerful mental filter, allowing you to sift out the noise and hone in on the signal. Did you know that Epictetus, the former slave, often taught his students to mentally premeditate evils, not to dwell on negativity but to consciously direct their attention to potential misfortunes and calmly plan their rational responses, thereby neutralizing their emotional sting? It's a bit like running disaster drills in your mind, but for your emotional resilience. Historians still debate whether this practice ever led to excessive pessimism or simply to a profound state of preparedness. This deliberate control over attention was their ultimate tool for inner peace. The profound link between attention training in Brahmanism and Stoicism and your personal development is that an undistracted mind is the foundation for all virtue and effective action. When your attention is scattered, your choices become impulsive, your judgments clouded, and your actions less intentional. By cultivating focused attention, you empower yourself to act with clarity, purpose, and wisdom, ensuring that your every decision is a deliberate step towards your highest good. You are becoming a master craftsman, meticulously focusing on each detail, knowing that precision in the present moment creates a flawless future. A little-known fact is that both traditions encouraged practices like mindful walking or eating, not as mere chores, but as opportunities to train sustained attention on a simple physical act. thereby strengthening the mind's ability to focus on more complex challenges. Imagine savoring a single raisin for 5 minutes, noticing every texture and flavor just to build your mental muscle. Historians still debate whether these seemingly mundane exercises were truly transformative or simply a way to pass the time in quiet contemplation. It's about transforming the ordinary into a powerful training ground for your mind. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding focus like a yogi, Stoic attention, training begins with the profound realization that conscious attention is your most valuable asset. It is the powerful understanding that the ability to direct your focus, to be fully present in each moment, is the key to unlocking profound wisdom, cultivating unwavering virtue, and navigating the complexities of life with unparalleled clarity. By consistently practicing the art of focused attention, you gain mastery over your internal world, ensuring that your reactions are intentional, your decisions are wise, and your path is clear. You become like an unwavering lighthouse beam, cutting through the densest fog, guiding your way forward with unshakable resolve. It's about building an inner lens so sharp that no external distraction can ever blur your vision, and no internal chatter can ever obscure your path. The ancient sages, whether Brahminical or Stoic, understood that this profound control over attention was not just a mental exercise, but the very essence of a life lived with purpose and profound serenity. As the importance of focused attention begins to settle within your understanding, you now move deeper into the practical challenge of taming the mind's wild horses, recognizing the inherent restlessness of human thought and the disciplined effort required to bring it under your deliberate control. This isn't about eradicating thoughts, which is often an impossible and frustrating task. Instead, it's about learning to observe them without attachment, to let them pass by like clouds in the sky, thereby preventing them from dragging your focus away into distraction or emotional turmoil. Imagine trying to herd a flock of spirited, untamed ponies, each one wanting to bolt in a different direction. Your attention, in its raw state, is much like those ponies, and the training we discuss now is the gentle yet firm hand that guides them towards a unified purpose. Ancient yogic texts, particularly those dealing with chitta vritti nirodha, the stilling of the fluctuations of the mind, offer detailed methods for achieving this internal quietude, recognizing that mental agitation is the root of much suffering. There's a fascinating historical account of a Buddhist monk who, when asked about his meditation practice, simply said he was learning to sit with a monkey mind, acknowledging the mind's inherent restlessness without judgment. Historians still debate whether his monkey mind ever learned to play the cymbals. It highlights a universal challenge, controlling the ceaseless mental chatter. For the Brahmins, the agitated mind was seen as the primary obstacle to spiritual realization, a veil obscuring the true nature of reality. They understood that constant mental fluctuations prevented one from experiencing the underlying unity of Atman and Brahman. Their practices, such as pranayama, breath control, and specific meditation techniques, were designed to gradually quiet this internal commotion, thereby making the mind a more pliable instrument for higher contemplation. You might feel a gentle pull towards a greater sense of inner discipline, a quiet recognition that while you cannot stop thoughts from arising, you can certainly choose not to follow them down every rabbit hole. It's like being at a busy train station. You don't have to board every train that pulls in. Did you know that ancient Brahminical teachers often use the analogy of a flickering lamp in a windy place to describe an uncontrolled mind, and a steady lamp in a windless place to describe a mind perfected by focus? It's a bit like trying to read a book during a hurricane versus a calm, still night. The environment makes all the difference. Historians still debate whether these analogies were truly effective for students or occasionally led to complaints about drafty ashrams. This relentless pursuit of mental stability was foundational to their spiritual journey. The profound Stoic parallel to taming the mind's wild horses lies in their rigorous discipline of assent, the conscious choice to only give approval to impressions that are true and rational, thereby preventing rash judgments and emotional overreactions. They recognized that uncontrolled thoughts and desires were the source of most human misery. By constantly evaluating their perceptions and dismissing those that were irrational or unhelpful, they maintained an unshakable inner calm, regardless of external circumstances. This mental vigilance was their primary tool for cultivating virtue and living in harmony with nature. You are learning to become your own internal bouncer, deciding which thoughts get past the velvet rope and into your inner sanctuary. A little-known fact is that Stoic philosophers like Seneca would regularly review their daily actions and thoughts, identifying instances where they had allowed their minds to be carried away by irrational impulses and strategizing how to respond more virtuously next time. Imagine a Roman senator meticulously journaling his emotional slip-ups, not for self-flagellation, but for systematic self-improvement. Historians still debate whether his honest self-assessments ever made him look bad in front of his literary assistants. It's about a consistent, systematic approach to mental self-governance. The true strength that arises from successfully taming the mind's wild horses is an unshakable inner resilience and clarity. When your attention is not constantly pulled in 1,000 directions, you gain the ability to make deliberate, reasoned choices, unclouded by emotional turmoil or external pressures. This mental fortitude allows you to navigate life's inevitable challenges with grace, ensuring that your responses are always intentional and beneficial rather than reactive and potentially harmful. You are becoming a master charioteer, guiding your mental steeds with precision and poise, rather than being dragged behind them. It's like learning to ride a unicycle. Initially, it's wobbly and prone to falling, but with consistent practice, you gain effortless balance and control. The ancient Indian concept of dharana, concentration, the sixth limb of yoga, emphasizes focusing the mind on a single point, holding it there despite distractions, as a direct method for taming mental fluctuations and preparing for deeper meditative states. There's an intriguing tale of a medieval Indian yogi who, during intense concentration, could even slow his heartbeat to an imperceptible level, demonstrating incredible mastery over his internal states. Historians still debate whether his friends ever checked for a pulse. It points to the profound physiological effects of deep mental control. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding focus like a yogi. Stoic attention training finds its core in the challenging yet immensely rewarding discipline of taming the mind's wild horses. It is the powerful understanding that true control over your inner world, and thus over your life's direction, comes not from suppressing thoughts, but from learning to observe and manage them with dispassionate awareness. By consistently practicing the art of directing your attention, by choosing which thoughts to assent to and which to let pass, you cultivate an unshakable inner calm that allows you to live with unwavering purpose and profound clarity. You become like a silent, unwavering mountain amidst a changing landscape, your core unmoved by the fleeting winds of thought. It's about building an inner peace so deep that no external chaos or internal chatter can ever disturb your serenity. The ancient sages, both Brahminical and Stoic, understood that this relentless practice of mental self-mastery was the essential pathway to true freedom and enduring wisdom, guiding them through the tempest of life to a state of profound inner
peace.
As you continue to refine the discipline of taming your mind's wild horses, you naturally arrive at the profound practice of observation, the unblinking eye of awareness, understanding it as the crucial skill that allows you to perceive reality without distortion, a cornerstone of both yogic and Stoic attention training. This isn't about passive watching. It's about active, non-judgmental awareness of your internal and external world, detaching yourself from emotional reactivity and allowing pure data to enter your consciousness. Imagine a skilled scientist observing a complex phenomenon in a lab, meticulously noting every detail without allowing personal bias to interfere with their findings. Your conscious observation in this light is that scientist's dispassionate gaze, revealing truths often hidden by our preconceived notions. Ancient Buddhist practices, particularly anapanasati, mindfulness of breath, lay immense emphasis on the minute, sustained observation of the breath and bodily sensations, believing that such focused awareness reveals the impermanent and selfless nature of existence, leading to profound liberation. There's a fascinating historical account of a famous Indian contemplative who, when asked the secret to enlightenment, simply pointed to his own eyes, indicating that true understanding came from pure, unbiased seeing. Historians still debate whether this was a profound philosophical statement or if he just needed new glasses. It highlights a universal truth. Unbiased perception is key to understanding. For the Brahmins, particularly within the yogic traditions, meticulous observation was paramount for understanding the intricate workings of the mind and the subtle energies of the body. Practices like tritaka, gazing meditation, focusing intensely on a candle flame or symbol, were designed to purify the mind, sharpen concentration, and ultimately lead to deeper states of intuitive insight. They believed that by keenly observing internal sensations and thoughts, one could identify their transient nature and detach from them, thus moving closer to the unchanging reality of Brahman. You might feel a heightened sense of sensory awareness, a quiet recognition that there's immense detail and wonder in even the most mundane moments, if you simply pay close enough attention. It's like discovering a hidden pattern in a familiar tapestry that you've looked at 1,000 times before. Did you know that some ancient Brahminical rituals involved hours of silent, detailed observation of natural phenomena, like the rising sun or the flow of a river, as a form of contemplative practice, aiming to internalize the cosmic rhythms and enhance their observational faculties? It's a bit like watching a nature documentary without the narration, letting the experience speak for itself. Historians still debate whether these prolonged observations ever led to profound boredom or genuine epiphanies about universal interconnectedness. This dedicated observational practice was seen as a pathway to deeper spiritual understanding. The profound Stoic parallel to the unblinking eye of awareness lies in their relentless emphasis on rigorous rational judgment and the careful scrutiny of all impressions. They understood that suffering arose not from events themselves, but from our irrational judgments about events. Their practice involved a continuous, internal dialogue where they would observe their thoughts and reactions, questioning their validity and distinguishing between objective reality and subjective interpretation. This constant vigilance allowed them to assent only to impressions that were true and virtuous, effectively preventing irrational emotions from taking hold. You are learning to become your own internal fact-checker, holding every thought up to the light of reason before accepting it as truth. A little-known fact is that Stoic philosophers would often carry small notebooks, diligently jotting down instances where their judgments were clouded or their attention wavered, using these observations as direct feedback for their self-improvement practices. Imagine Marcus Aurelius reviewing his day, meticulously noting every moment he almost lost his temper with a grumpy senator. Historians still debate whether his staff ever peeked at his private reflections. It's about a disciplined, analytical approach to self-awareness and emotional regulation. The true strength that arises from cultivating this unblinking eye of awareness is an unshakable objectivity and emotional equilibrium. When you can observe your thoughts, emotions, and external events without getting entangled in them, you gain immense control over your internal state. This detachment allows you to respond to life's challenges with calm deliberation, free from the impulsive reactions that so often lead to regrettable outcomes. You are becoming a master strategist, seeing the entire battlefield with clarity, rather than being caught up in the immediate skirmish. It's like being a seasoned detective, able to see through the smoke and mirrors to the undeniable truth, solving the puzzle of emotional reactions. The ancient Indian concept of Sakshi Bhava, or the witness consciousness, emphasizes the practice of observing one's thoughts and emotions as a detached witness, without identification, leading to a profound sense of inner freedom and peace, a core principle in many meditative traditions. There's an intriguing tale of a renowned yogi who, even while undergoing a painful medical procedure, reportedly maintained a calm, witnessing awareness of the pain, experiencing it purely as sensation without allowing it to cause suffering. Historians still debate whether his pain tolerance was superhuman or if his mental detachment was truly that profound. It points to the incredible transformative power of dispassionate observation. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding. Focus like a yogi. Stoic attention training is deeply enriched by the practice of observation, the unblinking eye of awareness. It is the powerful understanding that true mental mastery and the ability to act with wisdom stem from the capacity to perceive reality clearly, free from the distortions of ego and emotion. By consistently training your mind to observe with detachment, to question your judgments, and to distinguish between objective fact and subjective interpretation, you cultivate a profound clarity that guides your every action. You become like a pristine, still lake, perfectly reflecting the world around it without adding its own ripples, a source of unwavering truth. It's about trusting that the answers to life's most complex dilemmas are revealed not in frantic searching, but in quiet, unbiased seeing. The ancient sages, whether Brahminical or Stoic, understood that this relentless pursuit of clear, objective observation was the essential pathway to true wisdom, enabling them to live lives of profound purpose and unshakable serenity, transforming even the most challenging circumstances into opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. As your unblinking eye of awareness sharpens, naturally leading to greater clarity, you now delve into the profound concept of deep focus, the gateway to wisdom, understanding that sustained, undivided attention is not merely a mental skill, but a powerful conduit to insights that transcend ordinary thought and profoundly shape your karmic journey. This isn't just about concentrating for a few minutes. It's about entering a state of complete absorption, where the distinction between observer and observed dissolves and profound truths are revealed. Imagine a master artisan, so utterly engrossed in their craft that the world around them fades, and their hands move with an almost mystical precision, guided by an unseen knowing. Your mind, in deep focus, becomes that artisan, capable of manifesting wisdom with effortless grace. Ancient yogic traditions explicitly describe dhyana, meditation, as a state of sustained and continuous attention, flowing effortlessly like oil poured from one vessel to another, leading directly to samadhi, a state of profound contemplative absorption where intuitive wisdom arises spontaneously. There's a fascinating historical account of the philosopher Nagarjuna, a key figure in Mahayana Buddhism, who reportedly composed his complex philosophical treatises in states of deep meditation, the profound insights seemingly flowing through him rather than being intellectually constructed. Historians still debate whether his profound clarity was a result of divine inspiration or simply an incredibly well-organized mind. It highlights the belief that deep focus opens channels to higher knowledge. For the Brahmins, achieving deep focus was the direct path to experiencing Brahman, the ultimate reality, and realizing moksha, liberation from the cycle of rebirth. They believed that only through intense, unwavering concentration could the mind transcend its ordinary limitations and perceive the non-dual truth underlying all existence. Practices like dharana, concentration, and dhyana, meditation, were meticulously cultivated to allow the mind to settle into a state of profound stillness and absorption, where true wisdom could naturally arise. You might feel a growing sense of mental spaciousness, a quiet recognition that when your attention is truly undivided, you gain access to insights that were previously obscured by mental clutter. It's like stepping into a perfectly still lake and seeing the reflections of distant stars, hidden by the ripples of everyday thought. Did you know that in ancient India, scholars would sometimes engage in intellectual debates that lasted for days, maintaining deep focus and clarity throughout, demonstrating an astonishing capacity for sustained mental effort born from rigorous training? It's a bit like a philosophical marathon where the finish line is ultimate truth, and caffeinated beverages were definitely not an option. Historians still debate whether these debates were truly productive or occasionally just ego contests. This rigorous training and deep focus was essential for their intellectual and spiritual pursuits. The profound Stoic parallel to deep focus as a gateway to wisdom lies in their concept of prasosh, or constant attention, a continuous vigilance over one's judgments and impressions. While not explicitly meditative in the yogic sense, prasosh required an unwavering, deep focus on discerning what is truly good, rational, and within one's control, dismissing all that is external and indifferent. This disciplined, concentrated attention allowed them to cultivate practical wisdom, phronesis, guiding them to make virtuous choices in every situation and to live in accordance with reason and nature. You are learning to wield your attention like a surgeon's scalpel, meticulously cutting away the irrelevant to reveal the core truth of any situation. A little-known fact is that Stoic philosophers would often practice visualizing their own mortality, not morbidly, but to cultivate a deep, focused appreciation for the preciousness of the present moment, and to prioritize living virtuously, understanding that true wisdom lay in aligning with the inevitable. Imagine a Roman emperor contemplating his own impermanence every morning, not to feel despair, but to ignite a profound sense of purpose. Historians still debate whether this practice made them unusually stoic or just exceptionally good at writing wills. It's about using deep focus to orient your entire life towards wisdom and virtue. The true transformative power that arises from cultivating deep focus as a gateway to wisdom is the ability to transcend superficial understanding and access profound intuitive insights. When you can concentrate on a subject or a challenge with undivided attention, solutions and understandings often arise spontaneously, not through forced logical deduction, but through a deeper, holistic perception. This wisdom empowers you to act with unparalleled effectiveness and ethical integrity, navigating life's complexities with a clarity that seems almost prophetic. You are becoming a master strategist, not just seeing the immediate chess moves, but perceiving the entire game, unfolding with perfect clarity, understanding the deeper principles at play. It's like having an internal GPS that always shows you the wisest route, even when the external map is unclear. The ancient Hindu concept of buddhi, or intuitive intellect, is said to develop and sharpen through sustained deep focus, allowing one to grasp subtle truths and make decisions that are not just logical, but profoundly wise and aligned with cosmic law. There's an intriguing tale of the sage Ashtavakra, who, despite his physically deformed body, possessed such profound wisdom attained through deep inner focus that even the most learned scholars marveled at his insights and sought his guidance. Historians still debate whether his physical appearance enhanced or detracted from the initial perception of his wisdom. It profoundly illustrates how wisdom can arise independently of external conditions through dedicated internal cultivation. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding focus like a yogi, Stoic attention training culminates in the profound realization that deep focus is the gateway to wisdom. It is the powerful understanding that true insight, the kind that transforms your life and guides your karmic destiny, emerges from a mind capable of sustained, undivided attention. By consistently practicing the art of deep concentration, you unlock innate intuitive abilities, allowing profound truths to reveal themselves from within. You become a living embodiment of wisdom, your actions flowing from a place of clear understanding and ethical purpose, shaping a life of unparalleled effectiveness and serenity. You are like a clear mountain spring, channeling the purest wisdom from its deep, silent source to nourish all that it touches. It's about trusting that the answers you seek are often found not in frantic external searching, but in the profound, concentrated stillness of your own awakened consciousness. The ancient sages, both Brahminical and Stoic, understood that this rigorous cultivation of deep focus was not merely a mental exercise, but the essential pathway to true liberation, enabling them to live lives of profound purpose and unshakable serenity, transforming even the most challenging circumstances into opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. As the profound wisdom unlocked by deep focus integrates into your being, you now approach the culmination of this journey. Attention mastery, the path to freedom, understanding that complete command over your focus is not just a skill, but the ultimate key to unshakable inner liberty and profound contentment. This isn't just about being able to concentrate when you want to. It's about your attention becoming a perfectly obedient instrument, always directed by your will, never by external whims or internal compulsions. Imagine a master archer whose arrow always flies true, hitting the bullseye with effortless precision. Because their focus is absolute, their aim unwavering. Your attention, when mastered, becomes that arrow, always striking the mark of your chosen intention. Ancient yogic philosophy culminates in samadhi, a state of meditative absorption achieved through complete attention mastery, leading to moksha, the ultimate liberation from suffering and the cycle of rebirth. There's a fascinating historical account of the sage Vyasa, who, through perfect attention control, was said to be able to dictate the entire Mahabharata epic without error or pause, demonstrating an astonishing feat of mental endurance and focus. Historians still debate whether he had an excellent memory or just a really good stenographer. It highlights the belief that ultimate freedom stems from ultimate mental control. For the Brahmins, achieving attention mastery was synonymous with achieving spiritual enlightenment. They believed that a mind fully under control, its attention perfectly directed inward, could directly experience the non-dual reality of Brahman, transcending the illusions of the material world and the limitations of individual consciousness. This supreme control allowed them to live in a state of eternal peace, untouched by the vicissitudes of life. You might feel a profound sense of inner quietude, a quiet understanding that true happiness is found not in external circumstances, but in the internal state of perfect mental serenity, a state you can cultivate through disciplined attention. It's like realizing you carry your own serene oasis within you, accessible at any moment, no matter the desert outside. Did you know that ancient Brahminical texts describe methods of kumbhaka, breath retention, combined with deep concentration, believed to lead to states where the mind became utterly still and absorbed, granting extraordinary control over physiological processes and spiritual states? It's a bit like pressing the pause button on your entire nervous system, just to achieve profound inner peace. Historians still debate whether these techniques were truly about breath or about training the mind to transcend bodily sensations. This absolute command over attention was their highest spiritual attainment. The profound Stoic parallel to attention mastery, the path to freedom lies in their concept of living in perfect accordance with nature and reason, a state achieved through absolute control over one's judgments and reactions. They understood that external events were indifferent, and true freedom came from focusing your attention solely on what you can control, your internal responses. By mastering their attention, they prevented external circumstances from disturbing their inner tranquility, achieving a profound and unshakable apatheia, freedom from emotional disturbance. You are learning to become the unmovable rock in a turbulent sea, your inner calm undisturbed by the fiercest waves. A little-known fact is that Stoic philosophers like Epictetus taught their students to constantly practice the dichotomy of control, directing their attention only to their intentions and judgments, thereby stripping external events of their power to upset them. Imagine a Roman citizen shrugging off a financial ruin, not out of apathy, but because his attention was perfectly focused on his virtuous response, not the loss itself. Historians still debate whether this level of detachment was always achievable or required an unusually resilient personality. It's about a radical reorientation of your attention to achieve ultimate psychological liberation. The true and enduring freedom that arises from attention mastery is the liberation from mental slavery, from being pulled by every fleeting thought, emotion, or external stimulus. When your attention is perfectly commanded, you are no longer a victim of circumstances or your own impulses. You become the conscious director of your life, making choices with unwavering intention and living in a state of unconditioned peace and profound joy. You are becoming the conductor of your own symphony, creating perfect harmony from the cacophony of life. It's like having a universal remote control for your entire inner world, capable of muting the noise and amplifying the calm. The ancient Hindu concept of kaivalya, or absolute independence, is the ultimate goal in some yogic schools, representing complete liberation from the cycle of birth and death, achieved through the profound mastery of the mind and its attention, leading to a state of pure, unconditioned consciousness. There's an intriguing tale of the sage Ramana Maharshi, who, through relentless self-inquiry and unwavering attention to the I thought, attained a state of constant realization, living his entire life in a state of profound inner freedom and peace, even amidst physical suffering. Historians still debate whether his unique path to liberation was applicable to all or specific to his extraordinary spiritual disposition. It profoundly illustrates the liberating power of attention fully mastered. Ultimately, your journey, through focus like a yogi, Stoic attention training culminates in the profound understanding of attention mastery, the path to freedom. It is the powerful, quiet realization that true liberation An unshakable inner peace and profound contentment are found not by controlling the external world, but by achieving absolute command over your own attention. By diligently practicing the art of focused awareness, by consistently directing your inner gaze with intention and wisdom, you unlock an innate sense of freedom that transcends all limitations, transforming your life into a deliberate, virtuous, and profoundly peaceful existence. You become a perfectly poised dancer, moving with effortless grace through the stages of life, each step guided by absolute focus and unwavering serenity. It's about trusting that the deepest peace and the most profound happiness are found, not in external conditions, but in the unwavering stillness and intentionality of your own perfectly mastered attention. Now, as the narrative draws to a close, let the quietude of these thoughts settle over you, like a soft, comforting blanket. Feel the gentle calm spreading through your being, easing any lingering tension. The distant sounds of the night soften, blurring into a gentle hum, a whisper of the universe itself, lulling you deeper into rest. Let the images fade, the concepts dissolve, leaving only a profound sense of peace and a quiet knowing. Your journey has been long, but the destination, this stillness, is always within your grasp, a sanctuary you can always return to. May your mind be clear, your heart light. End of script. Thank you for listening, everyone.